Mr. Speaker. I'm quite disappointed that I didn't quite come immediately after the Honourable Member for Strangford, who I found out yesterday, I think, supports Leicester City, and I would encourage him to follow his son's wisdom there and perhaps reconsider that and support the Tractor Boys. But I thought about it at another time. But I would like to sort of talk. Yesterday in this place, I thanked NHS staff and care workers in Ipswich and our local for their incredible work to save lives during the COVID-19 pandemic. And I want to reiterate that gratitude for them here today as we discuss this petition to recognise the fantastic work of these professionals, including the pay they receive. I mentioned yesterday that these workers have taken on considerable additional risks to their own physical health to help look after the most vulnerable. I think most of us can only imagine what it's like to deal with many sick and deteriorating patients under such tough conditions, and always having that thought in the back of your mind that you could catch the virus yourself and potentially pass it on to your loved ones when you leave work that day. It's very clear to me in the correspondence I've received quite how much my constituents want to thank NHS and care workers. There's a couple of stories I've got, and I just want to elucidate them slightly. One is the local pub on Woodbridge Road called Lattice Bar, that right now still faces an uncertain future, and was closed its doors and had lots of questions about its own finances, etc. But the first thing that the landlord thought about was local NHS staff and how he could open his doors to nurses and frontline NHS workers. Immediately, it wasn't himself, but it was our wonderful NHS workers, and he was thinking to himself how he could support them. I also want to thank Northgate Highschool and Ipswich School, where all the pupils work together to make PPE for our frontline workers. Yes, a monument would be a good idea, a medal. These things are not insignificant, and I don't think they should be belittled, because actually these things do matter, and it is a way as us collectively as a society saying we acknowledge it, what you've done, and we will never forget it. But I would say that I would encourage the government to reflect upon the strength of feeling in the country and to consider any way that we can, particularly for frontline NHS workers and social care staff, look at ways of increasing pay at the first opportunity. And I think in particular in terms of social care, I think showing everybody who works in that sector how much we value them and the work that they do, and giving those workers the status that they deserve, and acknowledging that they have been the best of the best. And from the bottom of my heart, as a Member of Parliament for Ipswich, thank you.